Hello and welcome to Bethan's Kitchen and Garden, and what is a very sunny day today, which is unusual because we've had nothing but rain. So let's crack on and have a look at the compost, and then I'll empty some of the compost and we'll see what compost we've got. Here is the compost heap I would like to clear out today. If I just clear aside the bits that are right on the top, I can show you that underneath. It looks like some quite good compost under there. So what I will do is I will clear out the top level and empty it into my current in use compost heap over there, and then I will show you what the compost is looking like once I get it into my barrel. Here is the compost from probably about 6 feet from taking off the top layer, as it were. It's still quite coarse, and where I was thinking of putting it was where I was going to grow my carrots this year. I was going to have this patch as a designated carrot bed, so I think I'm going to need to sieve the soil, or the compost rather, to put in the carrot bed. So I've decided to use this and a couple of more bucket loads, or barrel loads of what's in there onto my asparagus bed at the moment, because I'm having some manure delivered tomorrow, some fresh horse manure, and I want to put it in here to rot down. So I want to get rid of the compost that's there, so I can put the manure straight in here. So I think rather than stand here and waste a lot of time sieving the compost, I'm going to just dump it onto my asparagus bed in the front. So here is one very empty compost heap. I just need to put cardboard at the bottom now, and then when I have my manure tomorrow I can put it straight in there. And this bed is now done. It took the whole of that compost heap to put a layer of mulch on top, but I'm really pleased to have got this bed done. It didn't get composted last year. I just used bloodfish and bone and fertilizer on it, so it's really good to have got it done this year. I'm not sure if you can pick it up on camera, but you can definitely see the difference between the bottom of the compost heap and the top bit of the compost heap. There's much more sort of fibres in this top bit, but it's all fine. It's been rotting down for about a year, so it should be good. It should be full of nutrition, and hopefully it'll make my asparagus grow really well. If I come round to this part of the bed, I haven't been overly fussed about manuring this part, because I'll be putting potatoes all the way down this bed this year, and then they'll be followed by leeks. So I think it'll be second earlies there, first earlies up here, and I will be mounding them up with fresh compost, which will then add to like the overall layer of mulch. So when you've got your mound on top of compost, then once I've harvested the potatoes, I'll level out that mound, and that will go to feed in the leeks that will follow. And so yes, I haven't been overly fussed about getting this part mulched, but it is mulched. It's just probably not as heavily mulched as that part. How many times can a person say mulch? Right, well, let's move on to something else. This is my long raspberry bed. it's come apart, and I actually want to use this timber here for another bed in the back garden like I did in my last vlog. So I want to steal the wood from here, and I'm going to replace it with some of that wooden roll that I took up in the last vlog. And then I also want to mulch the raspberries because they are coming through now, they're beginning to grow. And then another thing I need to do is I'm going to dig up these blueberries and put them into pots, because I've got 6 more blueberry plants which I'm going to grow in pots. You might have seen them in my greenhouse on previous videos. And the reason for me lifting these ones up and putting them into pots is, how can I explain it? If I put 8 large pots on this area here, I can grow 8 blueberries in large pots, whereas at the moment I've only got 2 functioning blueberries here, where I could have 8, if that makes sense. But also my raspberry plants have been in for about 4 years now, and you can see where the old wood is. I mean, the new stuff is coming through, but it's going to get more crowded around here, the same with all of them, and eventually it will weaken the plant and I won't get that many raspberries because it won't have room to grow. So either this year, at the end of this growing season, or next year, I need to take out these raspberry plants and take runners off the ones that are there to take runners off, and then create a new bed. So I thought if I had my blueberries in pots, then I could use some of where the blueberries now are to put my raspberries, and then I could put the blueberry pots where the raspberry plants are now, and so on and so forth. And then I'm not planting fresh raspberries into an old bed. They'll have a chance to recover. I hope I'm explaining that well. I hope I've explained myself there. I'm not very good at explaining my ideas, but I think that is the best course of action at the moment. I haven't got room to create any more raspberry beds anywhere, so it makes sense to put the blueberries into pots, and then put the raspberries where the blueberries were, and rotate them around. So in theory I should grow 6 plants at one end for 4 years, and then grow 6 plants of raspberries at the other end of the bed the next 4 years, and so on and so forth. And that should give the compost a chance to recover. So I'm going to get on with taking out the planks, putting in the wood, hopefully the wooden log, and then mulch the raspberries. Oh, and dig up the blueberries and put them into pots as well. I've come into the greenhouse because I want to sow some carrot seeds, more carrot seeds. But before I do that, I need to empty out the strawberry plants that are in this pot. So I wanted to show you, if any of you were following last year, you'll have known that some of my strawberries got infected with vine weevil, and these were all F1, Summer Breeze Cherry F1. And what I did was I took them out of their pots and I planted them into this big pot to see if any overwintered, and I treated them with nematodes, and this is what we've got. So this one here has got a lot of fresh roots on, so that one should be quite good, as is this one. You can see the fresh roots quite clearly there. This one here is quite hard to pull out, so I'm guessing there's some good roots. Yeah, there's some good roots on the go there as well. So them three are good. And then these ones I could just pull out like that. So they haven't got any fresh roots on them. They can go in the bin. So my experiment kind of worked. I've got 3 good ones and 3 bad ones. So anyway, what I want to do now is to empty out the compost in here, sieve some other compost, some used compost, mix it with some blood, fish and bone, and then I'm going to do the same as I did with these carrots, which is sort of individually sow at certain stations. Sorry, I just stopped the camera so I could get the lid off. So hopefully you'll be able to pick up the roots that have started to come through on some of the seeds that have germinated. So I'm just going to put the seeds that have germinated into the stations, and I'll get on with that. I won't show you that because I haven't long done it in a different vlog. It's just this time I'm using chitted seeds instead of seeds straight out of the packet, because these took almost a month really to come through, and there's still some that haven't come through. So I thought this time, if I started with seeds that were chitting, then at least I would know that the seeds are good, and if anything goes wrong then it's to do with the processing rather than the seeds themselves. And hey presto, they are all done. Well, apart from this one, which is half done. You can see where I've left the indents, because when I was going through the tub of Tupperware, this one is a Amsterdam forcing, there was only so many that were actually germinated, so the rest I'll leave the tub to keep germinating, and I will fill in the rest as and when they germinate. So now on to some strawberries. Here are some strawberry plants that I took from runners last year, and I potted them up and I fed them with some nematode treatment in November time, I think October, November, because some of my other strawberries had vine weevil in them, but to me they're looking good. I just need to cut away the brown bits, and I think they're looking quite good plants actually, so really pleased with them. They've just overwintered in my greenhouse around the front, and today I want to get them into some hanging baskets. So I'm thinking 3 plants per basket. These baskets are not particularly deep, and I'm going to line them with old compost sacking, just instead of buying one of those liners, just because I think compost sacking will work just as well. And then I'm going to fill them with compost and plant up the strawberries. Here are the strawberry plants, 3 per hanging basket, and I've got the rest in my cold frame. I have got a few more strawberry plants to pot up, but they're in my front greenhouse at the moment, and I'm not quite sure where I'm going to put them as I've run out of hanging baskets. And before I go, I thought I'd show you, I did get my manure delivery, and I filled up this compost heap now. This has been in for about 5 days, so it has sank a bit. So I shall ask if I can get another delivery, and hopefully I can top this up then. And I don't know what else I'm going to do with the remaining compost, but I shall think of something. So very pleased to get this full of manure. Well, that's it from me for today. I'm very pleased with the jobs I've got done, even though it's been raining for most of this week. It's still nice to get some inside jobs done, like potting up those strawberries. It means that I don't have to worry about them for the rest of the season. I just need to keep watering them, and when the plants start to flower, I'll start feeding them with a liquid feed. So I'm very pleased with everything else I got done as well. Little by little, I'm chipping away as and when the weather lets me. So I'm feeling like I'm fairly behind, but I always feel like I'm fairly behind. So no change there then, really. But I'm quite happy with what I've got done this week. So all I can say about my work today is lovely job, and take care everybody, and hopefully I'll catch you on the next one, where I'll be doing a plot tour and a seedling tour as well. So yes, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you on the next one. Bye bye for now.